Friends, on June 5th this year, the Atlas V rocket of United Space Alliance lifted from Cape Canaveral in Florida, USA. The rocket carried two astronauts, Sunita Williams and Butch Wilmore, to test the performance of end-to-end Boeing's Starliner system. The Starliner spacecraft docked with the International Space Station the very next day, and that was as programmed. But on way to docking with the ISS, some of the thrusters, in fact 5 thrusters out of 28 thrusters of the spacecraft, misbehaved. But ultimately, both the astronauts managed to dock safely with the ISS. Now, this is the 24th year of NASA while operating the crewed operations on ISS, and they are very much experienced now how to handle difficulties in the operations. A lot of noise is these days being generated, especially in social media, that those two astronauts are going to be stranded in space and they can never come back. This is not true. This is far from truth and should not be said. So when I saw many such videos circulating in the internet, I thought I will make a video to clear the air. In 2014, NASA awarded contracts to Boeing and SpaceX company to make systems to take astronauts to International Space Station and bring them back. While SpaceX succeeded few years ago, this is the first mission of Boeing which is carrying the two astronauts. Earlier to this, Russians were carrying the spacecrafts on their Soyuz rockets after the space shuttle was retired in 2011. Now, Boeing reports that even today, the spacecraft is in good shape. 4 of the 5 thrusters have since recovered, and the mission can well be managed with the available amount of thrusters. However, this mission was supposed to be 8 days, and it now may take close to a month before the astronauts can come back. Now, why it is so? Friends, the space business is very serious affair. The human lives are involved. So Boeing and NASA are being extra cautious. They are operating the similar thrusters on ground for similar amount of time, and they are going to study and understand what really happened to these thrusters. Unless they fully understand, they will be hesitating to bring the astronauts through the same vehicle. But they also say that if there is an emergency, like the one arose when a Russian spacecraft exploded very near comparatively near to the ISS, and all the astronauts, they were asked to go to their respective modules in case there was an emergency and they had to undock and come back. So Sunita Williams and Butch Wilmore, in fact, boarded the Starliner capsule, and they were ready to undock and come back to Earth, but they never had to do that. Now, by design, this spacecraft can remain there for 45 days. And if required, this period can also be extended. So as such, both Boeing and NASA are in no hurry. Plus, there are enough supplies on the International Space Station for the astronauts to stay for a longer period. If required, both these astronauts can be accommodated in the Crew Dragon vehicle of SpaceX and come back with the other 4 astronauts. So that is not a problem. Even if that does not materialize, they can continue to stay on ISS and a new mission can be sent to bring them back. So there are many possibilities. So we need not be alarmed. I am pretty sure that very soon both these astronauts will be back safe and sound. All the astronauts who venture into the space are very brave people. They undertake these risky tasks for the sake of humanity, for the sake of all of us, and they understand the risks that are involved. Let us also show some courage, some respect, and do not indulge in unnecessarily bad reporting just to gain some extra views on the YouTube. It does no good to the resolve of the people who keep working on the mission. This panicky behavior creates unnecessary fear and creates bad impressions on the young minds of our people. NASA is a very experienced organization with very experienced engineers, and they have long history of operating space flights. They have suffered in past, so they do not wish to increase that suffering, so they are just being extra careful. They cannot be faulted for that. So we wish NASA and the astronaut good luck, and we hope to see them very soon back on Earth. So till we meet next time, thank you and goodbye.